Megyn Kelly, Joe Rogan, and more has endorsed Trump. I want to get into this, and I only want to spend 10 minutes on it. Let's get into Megyn Kelly's, a significant platform. Megyn Kelly's speech on endorsing Trump. Let's check it out.
25 years to recover from that mess. And I said it before, the one president I don't want to be under any circumstances is Herbert Hoover. And that was done by bad tax policy simultaneously with lifting all sorts of other things that made it impossible for people. A lot of mistakes were made. But it took.
You see them steel workers? You see them construction hats? You see them people in the back that's stumping for Trump? Pennsylvania is going red, y'all. I'm telling you.
20 to 25 years to recover. And I don't want that happening. And that's going to happen with her. She doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have a clue. And, you know, I just mentioned a name, but a woman who I saw the other night on television just ripped some poor idiot apart. Megyn Kelly is here, and she's doing. Come up. Come up here, Megyn. She ripped a guy apart.
Hi, everybody.
I really like Megyn Kelly.
Hey, it's great to see you. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe the energy and the stamina on this guy and his hate? I'm ready to go to sleep over there. He's got another rally to go to till tonight. Let me tell you, first of all, one of the reasons why I wanted to come here, one of the many reasons I wanted to come here. When I launched my show 4 years ago, we had Mark Cuban on the program. You know, yeah. You may have seen he was in the news this week. And he started going on about how bad America's race history was and how ashamed he was of America, and that's why he was at all these protests, and he felt it was really important to stand up and speak out about human rights violations. And then it got awkward when I asked him about all the money he was taking from China. And then he dropped a bunch of F-bombs, and I thought, I really enjoy this feeling of proving Mark Cuban wrong. And so here I am at a Trump rally, a strong, intelligent woman to prove Mark Cuban wrong again. I won't take up much of your time, but I do want to tell you the main reasons I am voting for Donald Trump. Number one, immigration. He mentioned it. And people like Laken Riley. I'll be thinking about her tomorrow all day. 22 years old, killed in Georgia, a young nursing student by an illegal. I'll be thinking about Jocelyn Nungare, 12 years old, in Texas, murdered by 2 Venezuelan illegals. President Trump closed the border. Kamala Harris opened it by choice. It wasn't accidental.
Correct.
She said it would be humane. That's what she and her boss believed. Tell it to Laken Riley's family. There was nothing humane about it. He closed it. They opened it. It was an intentional choice, and there's no reason not to believe they won't do it again. The boys should not be in the girls' sports.
I don't get it, though. You know, honestly, let me take off the rollie. It's going to be a long day today. I don't get it, though. I genuinely don't get it. And the reason that I don't get it is because I see people every day on these platforms, in my comments, on my emails, meet me in person, and they complain about the same things that they voting for. When I asked that woman at the game yesterday about immigration, she couldn't answer the question. I said, so why would you want a bunch of illegal migrants to come over here and then fill up your neighborhoods and take your tax dollars and then to replace you in the voter rolls and for it to be basically sanctioned by the very person that you saying that I'm not voting for because I'm not black? But then at the same time, why are you even talking to me about identity politics because she married a white man? And it's not that anything is wrong with that, but when you leverage an identity politics to justify your decision, that then becomes a problem. How? And so they just completely ignore it and they say, well, what about this? And then they be wrong and loud. Yo, why would I vote for my own demise? That is the dumbest thing ever. I don't get it. I don't understand. We have people dying. Police officers were getting shot in New York by illegal migrants. Women were being absolutely taken advantage of. Children were being reported. Squatters was taking over whole homes and they were teaching each other how to do so. Apartment buildings taking over inside of every single state, including Aurora. Why do y'all want this? Why do y'all want this? How? How does it make sense? Somebody justify it for me. Although all of this propaganda against Trump is absolutely false, and I've said this often and I'm going to say it again, you cannot get me to hate myself or hate you enough to actually hurt myself. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to get me to mess up my own money because I don't like you. Why would I do that? I'm never going to mess up the money. I'm a bag chaser. Shout out to all of the new bag chasers. If you're not a Patreon member, make sure you tap into the bag chasers. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm not going to hurt me for trying to stop you, and you already rich. And no matter what it is that I do or whether you get in or not, I'm going to be poor and suffer more as a result of you not being there. So you're not going to be affected financially and you're going to go on with your life. But I'm going to hurt myself and my children possibly in the future because I don't like you, but I don't like her enough to actually vote for her, but I'm voting against you to justify my vote.
The boys should not be in the girls' bathrooms. The boys should not be in the girls' locker rooms. Peyton McNabb, North Carolina sophomore in high school, slammed so hard in the face by a volleyball hit at her by a boy pretending to be a girl, she suffered traumatic brain injury and permanent paralysis. Kamala Harris looks at her and says, "Be kind. Suck it up." And that's what's right. Why do our girls have to face brain damage in order to be kind to boys who want to invade their sports? And by the way, they are going into the women's prisons. She changed the law in California to make sure the taxpayers would pay for their sex change operations. She was not just following the law, she
Megyn
changed
Kelly
the law.
not messing around.
President Trump will stop it. He got mocked by the left for saying he would be a protector of women. He will be a protector of women, and it's why I'm voting for him. He will close the border. He will keep the boys out of girls' sports and where they don't belong. And you know what else? One more thing. He will look out for our boys, too. Our forgotten boys and our forgotten men. Guys like you. Guys like these guys who've got the calluses on their hands, who work for a living with the beards and the tats, who maybe have a beer after work and don't want to be judged by people like Oprah and Beyonce, who will never have to face the consequences of her disastrous economic policies. These guys will. He gets it. President Trump gets it. He will not look at our boys like they're second-class citizens. And ladies out there who want a bit of girl power in this election, let me tell you something. How can you win when the sons and the husbands and the brothers and the dads you love are losing?
That's fair. That's true.
It's not a win.
Maybe it's because it's a lot of women that's on the liberal side that says that they don't need men. They say it all the time. They say, we don't care. We don't need men. It don't really matter. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. They say it all the time. They say, we don't need men. Then men be like, well, we don't need you either.
Young women and older, about the lives of our children, the safety of our children. And we need not get so obsessed with what happens when they're in the womb that we forget about taking care of them once we're here and they're loved. Last point. What I don't want, what I don't think you want, is the left's version of masculinity. You see that ad they did about Trump voters trying to encourage women to lie to their husbands so that they could vote for her instead of Trump? That's their version of what marriage looks like. an overbearing husband who bullies his wife into saying she voted one way as opposed to an honest, open relationship. Oh, wait, I'm talking about Kamala and Doug. Okay, sorry. Where was that story in the news? Where is that story? I don't remember a single media person, not one, who sat with him, asked him about the abuse allegations against him by a successful professional attorney who has great details, who has receipts, who has witnesses. No one even asked about it. I'm not into their version of toxic masculinity or new masculinity. I prefer the old version. Them, all of you, and I prefer a president who understands how to be strong and how to fight. I hope all of you do what I did last week. Vote Trump and get 10 friends to vote Trump too.
That was a dope speech. I like Megyn Kelly. I think that Megyn Kelly is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, educated. She stands for traditional values. She advocates for men because I think that she also understands that what makes our society and what makes things great is largely tied to the success of our men. Whether you like it or not, it's the truth.